Welcome to the Raw Dogger Sportscast Live. I am Sean Watson. With me, as always, is Ryan Kessler. What is going
Gang,
on?
gang.
Gotta
Not a whole
go.
lot,
Yeah.
brother.
How you feeling, man? I'm glad to get back on this. No, it got postponed a couple times. Little power outages here in North Central Ohio. Um, then on top of that, I went
Almost
ahead
3
and
days.
decided to. I'm sorry.
It's out for almost 3 days.
Yeah, getting a generator anytime soon, or
I guess those cost money.
why don't you? I heard you can go over there to the Amish community and maybe ought to get a couple horses and put them on the sides of a fucking windmill chasing a carrot. I don't know. Do something. And during all that mess, then I'm out there picking up sticks in the yard, and the kids came out. They were helping me out. And there's a dogwood tree. It's on the back corner of the woods in the property. And I'm super allergic to poison ivy. And I know some people say, well, I grew out of it. I used to get a lot worse when I was a kid or get better as I became an adult. I'm the opposite. I'm like the Benjamin Button of poison ivy allergies. And so I don't know if you can see, but I'm basically dealing with a lot of this. I'm on prednisone right now. Hopefully it's going to take over a little bit better, but I cut into this dogwood tree. It had this just like inch and a half diameter poison ivy, and it's been over there a couple. It's been over there a couple summers. I'm like, I'm going to take care of that. Well, poison ivy, although dormant, isn't truly dormant in the wintertime, which I knew that too. So I waited till the last minute where I could just saw into this shit, and I thought
All
I
over your
was
face.
covered up. Yeah, and I got in cold water, soap, and then I wake up like Jim Carrey from The Mask, where I'm going blah, 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 and now my face is puffy every single morning. But anyway, I digress. We got a lot to talk about tonight. It's been a minute. Want to get into some free agent talk. We built a mock draft for all 7 rounds. Or we're going to do one live, actually. We decided to go ahead and do it live. Maybe do a couple of them tonight of the Browns through all 7 rounds. And maybe you and I can have a little bicker about, hey, who do we want to take here? And we'll just come to a consensus. And if we don't like how the draft's going, the best thing about it is we can just restart it. Actually, that's what's nice about the site that we came across. But start the show off, I do want to talk about the free agency now that it's kind of, well, I thought it wrapped up. I mean, free agency continues, but you usually have like that
First week.
big spurt between the tampering period and then through the first week, and you're thinking, yeah, a lot of the big names are going to be taken down until, and we kind of knew this was going to happen. I think everybody knew it was going to happen. Kyler Murray goes and signs a 1-year deal, a vet minimum. Of course, Arizona is still paying him something in the neighborhood of like 38, 39 million. So he signs a vet minimum with them. 1 year. What do you think? What's your opinion on Kyler Murray?
It's probably the best for him. And that's probably the best that Minnesota could do with, they're kind of in that situation where they're wanting to compete. So they weren't bad enough to be picking high in the draft. They probably won't be next year either. So
where does
try to retread Kyler Murray.
Well, and the other thing is I want to you and I talked about Kyler Murray before. You bring this guy in and he's going to want to be the starter. So where does that leave JJ McCarthy, quote unquote 9?
It seems like he's in a lot of trade talks. I know Cleveland called about him. So, they always like
you all about that?
I'm not.
I am 100% not. I was 100% not in on Kyler Murray.
No, I think, they just have that thing where if they're from a big school, high draft pick, maybe we can have him work out here. Hasn't worked
Mhm.
every time, but especially at the quarterback position, if they're going to quarterback to the room, to me, it's like it should be somebody that's either you pretty much that's going to be the starter, is like it's going to be Deshaun and Shador battling it out. Why would you put another person in the ring for that?
Right. Unless we do draft a quarterback late. And a couple of the mocks I did have a couple of them late.
That's if a late round draft pick, that's going to be a guy that's developed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Well, there's nothing out of the realm of possibility that we don't start 4 different quarterbacks next year either. But
well, when you talk about developmental, though, go back to last year's draft, and all of a sudden, Shador falls to the 5th round, and we pick him up. A lot of maybe he's developmental. A lot of the league last year, people don't remember. A lot of the pundits, I should say, had not Kyler Murray, sorry, Shador Sanders going number 2. And you just keep slipping down in the draft, and then we decide to go ahead and draft Dylan Gabriel. That might be
what if Ty Simpson's in the round? Do you really pass that up?
I don't know if Kyle here. I have a bit of a segment tonight on Ty Simpson. I think he's the quarterback that's going to get talked up somehow into that first round. I just do.
I don't see
because all these teams are thirsty for a quarterback, and that's
I was going to say I don't see there being one quarterback taken in the first round. I don't think that's in today's NFL. I don't think you'll see less, because even last year there was still Ward and
Tyler Shuck.
Shuck was 2nd round, wasn't he?
Yeah, that's right. I'm sorry. I was Jackson Dart. Jackson Dart of the Giants. Yeah,
Jackson Dart was at like 20 or something like that. So
the guy that doesn't know that the ocean is within a stone's throw of New York City, or New Jersey, I should say.
He's just there to grip it and rip it, brother.
That's it, man. Him and Cam Scatabo. I mean, what an all-time
pairing. They got to have fun, right?
I love Cam, though. I do love him. Anyway, so Kyler Murray, getting back to that, it is $36.8 million is what he's going to be guaranteed from the Cardinals, and then takes the league minimum. Also, Justin Fields goes to Kansas City, and Kansas City decided that they would honor $3 million of the $10 million guaranteed for this coming season. Any thoughts about that at all? How do you feel about it?
I mean, I would think that's probably one of the best backs in the league, especially in that system. Have a guy that can move around. That might be the best thing for Fields to sit behind Pat Mahomes for a year.
Patrick Mahomes.
He's still young.
Mahomes.
I mean, I don't think Justin Fields is 26. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I think that might make Justin Fields one of those quarterbacks that next offseason gets another $10, $20 million deal.
Right. Because he's still living off
somewhere.
Still living off that Jets contract.
Right.
So, here was my kind of thought process when it came to Justin Fields. So Kansas City went ahead and gave up a 6th round pick for him to the Jets. Jets last week went out and recycled Geno Smith. So now they have Geno Smith, and Bailey Zappi is in that quarterback room for the Jets. Former New England Patriots legend, former Browns legend, Bailey Zappi. I just thought it's kind of the same thing when the Jets went ahead and gave up a 7th rounder for Geno. I mean, don't you think that it would have been possible to not give up that 6th? But it had to be a trade because he was under contract.
Right. I mean, what is a 6th round pick?
I mean, yeah, that's true. But it'll be interesting. Go ahead.
I mean, every team has different value on different picks, but I think once you get past the 4th round, it's you're really shooting at a barrel at that point.
Right. I mean, those late round picks are like, because you could have a diamond in the rough. Who knows?
Yeah, but even most of those are still in the 4th or 5th round. 6th, 7th rounders that work out. That's really rare.
Right. In case he picked up Montgomery from Detroit, they're reloading. I thought Montgomery went to the Texans.
I thought he did too.
Yeah, I think he went to the Texans actually. Who their big acquisition was Super Bowl MVP Kenneth Walker. Went to Kansas City.
Kenneth Walker.
Yeah, Kenneth Walker went there. So, but Kansas City is wanting to get draft picks. They're wanting to make that get that team younger for sure. Yeah, they have to reload at this point. I mean, you still got Patrick Holmes is
second win with Patrick there.
Right, absolutely.
Which that's I mean that New England had to kind of go through that phase a couple times with Brady. I mean,
yeah,
they went up and won those 3 Super Bowls. Took them. Then they got Randy Moss. They had all that when they kind of went down, went back. It's the way the game is.
Right. Well, and then I think the biggest news was really what happened today. Jalen Waddle getting traded from the Miami Dolphins to the Denver Broncos. So now you're going to have Cortland Sutton with Jalen Waddle. And now the Dolphins have 7 picks in the top 100. So they have round 1, they have pick 11 and 30. And then 2, they have their pick 11. 3, they have their pick 11. And also they have 3 third-round picks. So Jeff Hafley and the new GM down there are knocking it down the studs, right? Because we know Tyreek Hill's not back.
Right. Yeah, that wide receiver room is pretty slim for them.
Pretty thin. Yeah, I think little Jordan Humphrey went ahead and signed with them. But the other thing is, too, it's like you have this dead cap that you have with Tua because he went ahead and signed with Atlanta. But then you go ahead and sign Malik Willis, but then you don't give him any weapons. Now, obviously, you have at pick 11.
This is a very heavy wide receiver draft. I think they're
correct.
We better, and keeping that in mind in this mock draft, because that they're going to be searching for that because they're not going to want to give Malik Willis a second shot here and nothing to work with.
Well, that's my biggest holdup about it. I mean, obviously they're going to. Is there any chance that you see that they could pair these two together? I don't think. Listen, in my mind right now, I think there's a good chance, and we had a trade in our initial draft with Miami.
Just looking at that, 11 and 30 for 6.
Yeah. I mean, would that be something you would consider that would give us 11, 24, and 30?
If that's the case, you're pretty much hoping that Tyson falls to you at 11.
Right.
Which, the way the draft is, I mean, that I would consider it because you're going to be able to get like a Denzel Boston at that 30 spot and be able to get your left tackle at 24.
Right.
In my opinion, unless the thing is you're sitting there at 11. It depends on which one of these linemen they like. Are they going to wait around to 24 for it? So
and you and I both agreed already that Mekhi Lemon is not who we want to see drafted. And I had an argument with somebody earlier today that it's probably going to be Mekhi Lemon. I was like, please don't let it be Mekhi Lemon. And he's like, oh, why? Because he had a bad post interview at the combine. I'm like, yeah, that's all I need to see. I was off him. I was off him right there. Because here's the thing. If you have that kind of post draft, or not post draft, should I say, post combine podium interview, and you're not either smart enough to find somebody to fine tune your skills, you're not that smart.
Right.
Okay.
Well, that, and just, the attitude comes off of is, dude, you really want to add that to what you're dealing with all the bullshit with the quarterback position, and he's going to be wanting the football, and this is going to be 8 or 9 new starters on the offense. I feel like,
yeah,
if I don't have to deal with it or not, he would have to be quite the athlete. You know what I'm saying?
Right. All right, which leads me in the free agency, Jalen Waddle going there. Now that pick is pick 30. So essentially, is that kind of a real high second round pick or late first? I mean, that's the big part of that trade, right? There was 2 other picks though that Denver went ahead and gave up. I think it's
the top 35 picks. To me, like the top 35, that's where you get your blue chips.
Right.
Depending on the draft class, this is a pretty decent draft class. It's not like your top tier, like a 2014 or whatever, but I think there's some good players all the way up through this, early part of the second round. Then you're going guys that you think will be good, but you're not 100% sure on.
So with that being said, I wanted to talk about the Browns, and you and I talked about this a little bit the other night, but I thought the free agency was kind of winding down, and I told you, like, hey, here's the guys that are still available. Rasheed Walker, which we were kind of hopeful for this guy, went ahead and signed an up to $10 million deal, a 1-year deal with the Carolina Panthers. I also found this out digging around a little bit that I don't think you and I knew going into, not to say that I wouldn't still like to have Rasheed Walker, but he had 20 holding penalties over the last 2 seasons alone. So, yeah, there was a story that I wrote.
Sounds like Cam.
I read about. Yes. Yes. That was a comparison that was made. I think somebody from The Athletic, I read about it. And I'm like, well, maybe
that makes sense to why he really didn't get that much money and that long of a deal.
Yeah. Right. So, but then I still want to ask you,
Cleveland getting. Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I was going to, as far as that. So he was seeking a multi-year deal. And, you and I talked about, would Green Bay franchise tag this guy? And essentially they didn't. And we see that the market went down for the left tackles. And now he signs the 1 year. I think it's $8 million, and then with some incentives, it can end up being $10 million. Do you have a problem with the Browns? And who's to say that they didn't? But with the cap space, which is a little under $10 million.
Right. I think that's
this guy.
I don't think they wanted to commit long term, and I have a strong suspicion that our left tackle of the future is in the first round of this draft. So you're going to get a bargain basement or a bargain deal for a left tackle for 5 years. That's what they want, and that's what you got to balance all that stuff out. They spent a lot of money in the interior of the offensive line with the 2 guards they signed and the re-signing Jenkins. Well, and is it the other guy's name Jenkins as well? Didn't he come from Green Bay?
Yeah.
Is he also a center?
Yes,
he's also a center. Okay.
He's our new center.
So he's going to be. I'm assuming he's going to be starting at center. So yeah, I think the plan is to get a left tackle in the draft, and maybe put Dwan back over to the right side.
Okay. I mean, I can see that definitely.
And I mean, that offensive line, I think to me, that offensive line, if they get who we want at left tackle, or even Proctor. I know one of the drafts you did, you had Proctor. I think that'd be a solid offensive line. I don't know, what the potential is there. You got to see them work together.
Sure.
And a lot of times, because they don't get a lot of work in the offseason, they don't really gel till halfway through the season either, especially if they haven't played together.
Mm-hmm.
And we still about Joe Petonio, right?
No.
And it seems to be, at this point, it's almost like he's done. From what they spent money-wise. Yeah, what they spent money-wise, or he's going to go somewhere else.
Right.
Because you think they'd have some sort of an idea. Well, and our cap money is kind of tied to his contract too, right?
Yes.
So, yeah, I don't know. That's super. I think they're almost like, whether or not he's going to come back or not, they're kind of planning on moving on. He's taking his sweet time.
Right. Now, the other one, and I brought this up to you before also, was Taylor Decker, 10-year veteran with Detroit, wanted his release.
And he could be sitting out there saying, I'm not signing until August.
Yeah.
That point in his career, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, who knows? And I threw this out to you the other night. I'm like, what if you just went and got Taylor Decker? You go and get your left tackle of the future, and Taylor Decker starts. But then you made a great point. Well, if you go and spend a first-round pick on a rookie left tackle, that guy's going to start. He's not going to sit, right?
No.
Okay. I just thought that
where they are at the cap, that's kind of a luxury to have a Taylor Decker if you're going to spend the first-round draft pick on a left tackle. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That the luxury we don't have the cap room to get.
I just thought because of what Walker did and how low of money he got, that possibly we could get Taylor Decker on maybe a 1-year, $5-6 million deal.
Well, and who's to say they don't do that in August? Right. Because you can't trust. I just said his name to play all season. Big guy from Ohio State, right tackle Jones.
Yeah,
Juwan Jones.
Juwan Jones, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he could be your swing tackle. I think Taylor Decker, I would assume, is still going to probably want to go somewhere to stay in the league. I would assume.
Yeah.
So that you're going
to put
that in your calculations.
Somewhere to win immediately, correct?
Yeah. Yeah, got a little taste of that in Detroit. You'd think he'd want to go to win.
Right. Right.
Did the 49ers lose Trent Williams?
You know what? I didn't. I'd have to look that up.
I thought I haven't heard about that.
Did they end up losing him?
Let me see. Because if you want to sign anybody,
right? Although he's
still going to be right. They have a contract issue with him. I don't know if maybe he's at the end of a contract. So I don't know. He may become available. So I'm sure they got their ear to the ground on that situation as well. But he's one that if he goes anywhere, he's going to Buffalo or Kansas City or something. You know what I mean? Maybe Denver. John.
So I want to kind of just throw this out to our listeners, out to our viewers. What are you happy? How would you grade what the Browns have done in free agency? Basically securing 4 linemen. One of them was already in house. Tell us what you think. And I think this gives you kind of a snapshot at this point of what the Browns are going to do in the draft, which is really no secret. But that left tackle is still a big, big need. And we just hope that, Andrew Berry, Todd Monken, and the rest of that war room gets together and puts together a good draft. And there's not too many curveballs in the draft, and we can get the guy that we want.
Yeah, I think the way that they set this up coming out of free agency, you yet to be seen, obviously, with the offensive line. But you went out there, you put money at it. Guys that have experience in the league that were healthy last year for the most part.
Right.
And if you can hit on that left tackle, even if you're not going to have 5 all-pro offensive linemen.
Right.
You can hit on that left tackle and you get some cohesion on that line. I mean, it was bad last year.
Yeah, really.
The run blocking has been bad for 3 years, probably, since 23. So if you solidify that left side, and you can use this draft to get you some outside weapons and just kind of fill in spots later in the draft, get best available. Like, they put themselves in a spot where I think you can put together a competitive offense.
Right. Well, the Browns did go ahead and they went ahead and tenured some of the second and third year guys. Wide receiver Jamari Thrash, punter Corey Borquez, Schmidt.
They let Borquez go?
No. They tenured him, so he's going to be back.
Oh, okay. I thought.
Yeah, I was talking about the Browns decided to go ahead and tenure of the second and third year guys, and Ronnie Hickman.
He's
yep, and D'Angelo Ross, cornerback. So, any problem with
No, I mean, Jamari Thrash, he's nothing on the cap. I think that's a body there. I haven't really seen anything from him that has made me impressed. Which that could change with the new offense, and we finally have that dickhead wide receiver coach that everybody loves so much from New England out of here. Guy's been an absolute dumpster fire for fucking 8 years. So it'll be interesting to see if maybe there's some more development from him and from Tillman. God forbid he can stay on the field for more than 5 games.
Right.
I still think physically, and he's got it all.
And thank God for Isaiah Bond, right?
Yeah. So there's some hidden potential there. If you can hit on 2 wide receivers in this draft to actually have a 1, and that be able to move Jerry Jeudy into a wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3 role, you'd be all right. You'd be cooking with grease.
Right. So we know Mendoza in all those mocks that I did the other night, the formulated mocks, Mendoza always went to the Raiders at number 1. Every single one of them. Okay. Then
I don't see that changing.
Down like 2 through 5 and 6, 7, kind of shuffled around a little bit.
Right.
But something that's really kind of taken hold and is the discussion around Ty Simpson. Yeah, and you and I were just talking about it before we came on. There's going to be a quarterback that's going to get talked up in this draft. He's going to go in the first round. And I just wanted to go ahead. We have this clip. It was on Up and Adams podcast with Kay Adams. And it was basically, she had Ty Simpson on there. It was, want to go ahead and play this clip. Let you guys listen to this.
I didn't know you guys were quite as, obviously, I know you're close, but like you keep bringing him up. So it's like.
Because he follows me everywhere. Like
yeah,
if you show asking why he follows me everywhere. Everywhere I go, he goes.
Is there a world where y'all are on the Browns together? I feel like could that happen? What would that be like?
Talking about
That's something that you got to ask Coach Monk and Mr. Berry. I think it'd be great. I mean, they got it going up there. Coach Monk's going to get it right. They got all the right pieces. If I'm able to throw the Carnell, it'd be great. It would be something that, we'd always be on the same page, and, hopefully we'd take the league by storm.
Gosh, now that's what I'm going to pray for that to happen. What do you do? You like Mr. Monken?
Oh yeah, he's the man.
What do you
Coach
like about
Monken,
him?
Well, first off, right, he recruited me at Georgia. So, had a great relationship with him. And then, him coaching at Southern Miss, him and my dad got to, know each other pretty well. So I've known him for a long time. And then, when I got to meet with them at the Combine and got to meet with him on a 30 visit. It was, just something, there's a, personality about him that, he kind of has that chip on his shoulder to where, he wants to, take the league by storm with his offense. And, he's very genuine and, cares about his players and cares about his coaches. And, the proof is in the pudding when it comes to, offense, right? Like you saw what he did with, at Georgia, saw what he did with Lamar, like, it just kind of, I think it's a quarterback friendly system and a guy who is willing to, change and adapt.
You were there last week, top 30 visit. Any relation? Do you know Shador at all?
I do not. I've heard great things about him though. So, hopefully if I get in a room with him, I would love to, be really good friends.
Would your dog Rip vibe in a city like Cleveland? I'm like really like putting it on right here. I mean, I feel like he'd have to get used to the cold, Ty, no?
Yeah. I mean, there he is. He'll be all right. As long as he's with somebody, he'll be just fine.
Did you name him after a Yellowstone Rip?
Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, I just thought the dynamic there was really interesting. I guess, he met Carnell Tate. They kind of had this Lego thing. They're really big into building Legos. And just like Ty Simpson was saying, he just started following me around everywhere, maybe kind of like his dog was. But he and Carnell Tate, and that's where this kind of all jumped off. Not to mention that Monken went ahead and recruited Ty Simpson, real good friends with his dad, who also coaches UT Martin. And I just thought it was interesting, although I'm on the record feeling that Ty Simpson is not ready. He's not ready. He had a good season. He started out with Georgia, transferred to Alabama, and the first half of season in 2025 really good. Took a really hard injury there against South Carolina, and then he had some gastritis issues also. But I mean, his numbers really dropped off after like 9 games in. So I guess my question to you is: are you interested in Ty Simpson? Because that seems to be kind of what's going on. And are you willing to go ahead and would you be willing to take him at that 24 pick?
That's the question.
Right.
If he's there, that first pick of the second round that we have, I mean, it's a lot to juggle. You're going to have a three-way quarterback battle there. And I mean, you're just nothing we haven't seen in Cleveland before. I don't know if I would take him at 24 without, having that left tackle spot figured out. Now, maybe if there's something that happens and they go through with it, maybe that kind of signals that Taylor move. That would feel better about it.
Yeah, I would.
And obviously they have interest in him enough to give him that 30 visit.
Sure.
So, there's something there, but, they meet a lot of guys that they're never going to draft. So it just seems to me like in the wrong time of the rebuild here to kind of shoot for that when you have a guy on your roster that, you don't know about Shador. You definitely can't say he's the franchise guy, but there was something there. You got a new offense coming in, try to build around him. I don't know. I don't think I'd take him at 24. They might. If he's there at the top of that round, I don't see why not.
Right. It's like I said, I'm not sure about him. Also, the durability. He also lost quite a bit of weight with that gastritis. He was down at like 195. Now he's beefed back up to like 210 for the Senior Bowl and the combine.
Yeah, he's small. He's like 6'1", 6'2", right?
Yeah, yeah, and he had a pretty
big enough, but he's right on that edge.
Throws at the pajama party there in Indianapolis. So
yeah, I mean that's the coach is going to want his quarterback. So never really I guess we did with Deshaun, with Kev to get his guy. So if that's the card he wants to play, you better make it work.
Right. But
So
obviously you're burying Shador at that point, though.
Yeah, I don't think how are you going to have 3 quarterbacks on the roster and you can't cut Deshaun.
No, because it's not doing any good
did,
because we're paying him anyway.
And I think the cap hit would increase because of the dead cap.
Right.
So I don't know if mathematically it would even work.
Right. All right. You want to move on? How about let's go ahead and get on to this mock draft that we've been talking about doing. What is the website again? I know I sent it to you.
ProFootballNetwork.com.
Yes, they have a free draft simulator over there. You don't have to pay for Pro Football Focus. So what we thought about was doing one of those live, if not 2. Maybe we can kind of bicker back and forth, make it interesting as to who we think we're going to go ahead and take. So we're going to go ahead and load it up here. We're going to do all 7 rounds, select the Cleveland Browns. I would just do the normal speed, Ryan. And that seems to work out pretty well. And then we're just going to draft. And we're going to see what happens. Oh, Mendoza. Again? Seriously? All right.
Oh,
and then there's all trade proposals that are happening at 6. There might be like 2 or 3 in a row. But on the ones that I did do, fooled around with them a little bit. But I went ahead and now if you see a trade proposal you think you like, Ryan, we could talk about that.
I don't really see anything. I don't see anything here I would take.
Okay.
Moving all the way back to 16. I mean, you get to 33, but pick 8. Why are you going backwards? Second round next year? Nah.
No. And you can also propose trades on here. And right. I'd like anybody that they want to go ahead and send us in their mocks if you want to go ahead and use this site.
Yeah.
I'd love that.
All right. So
go ahead.
Wow, Arvell Reese is still on the board.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. It's really kind of crazy there. It surprised me there that Jordan Tyson was taken before Carnell Tate.
Right.
Now, I did also do ones where I was trading back with Dallas to go ahead and try to go ahead and get. You can propose trades on here. So, but we can just stick with this. And what do you want to do? You want to go ahead and take Carnell Tate at that 6?
That's who I mean, if he's there.
Okay, let's do it.
That's who I'm taking.
Yep. Now, Monroe Freeling's probably going to come off the board, though, which I don't care for. But I have a feeling there's
11.
Yeah, I have a feeling there's going to be somebody else that you may like. Mekhi Lemon goes to the Jets. Rip.
Fuck off.
Yeah. Baltimore, no, I'm good.
Still got Proctor.
That is who I thought. Now, most of the mocks I had still had him going there. He started out right tackle, but left tackle. He was swung over to left tackle, though. So that could definitely be a guy, just a mammoth of a human being, by the way. So we could have like our bookend tackles. They're
6'7", 350.
Yeah, just hammers. So what do you think? Go ahead and take Proctor.
Yep.
I'm with you. I think we should do one of these, like, we'll go ahead and do one without any trades, and then maybe we'll propose a couple trades. That would be fun for a second one.
Sure. All right.
Not trading with the Bengals?
No.
No, I'm with you on that.
Are we taking a wide receiver here, I'm assuming?
Well, and so
we got
Chris Bell out of Louisville was a guy that I was taking in a few of these. There's also Denzel Boston. I kind of like that.
I just love the 6'4".
Yeah. I say we take Denzel Boston. What do you think?
I think I would love that.
Okay. Let's do it. So now we got 2 wide receivers, and we got Caden Proctor. I mean, I feel pretty good about it so far.
Right.
And then our next pick is until 70, so there's quite a bit that's coming off the board. Now, I know that you said they better be using all the resources on the offensive side of the ball. And I can't remember. I think there's a couple different ones I did where I started taking some defensive guys. Reject.
Do not need defensive tackle.
No. Let me see who else is on there.
Oh, Davison and Big.
Yeah,
Vincent
I
are
kind of
big.
the problem I had with Igbonosin is the amount of
Igbonosin.
the pass interference calls.
Penalties.
Yeah,
He's physical though.
he
I
did.
like that.
He is, and I mean he cleaned that up his senior year. Who do we got there at the top of the board? Must have been some guys come off there that because they're
Caleb Banks is a mammoth.
But I thought we weren't going defensive tackle.
I mean, we're kind of loaded at defensive tackle and corner. I mean, you might want to start getting some youth in that cornerback room, but they kind of seems like they always pick one up every year.
Oh yeah, and that's not surprising.
Ooh.
You gonna take 3 wide receivers with? Because I saw him too.
It's kind of tempting.
It is.
Actually, so what do we got in the tight ends here?
Well, and Max Clare was on the board also. And
Looks like he could be in the 4th round.
yeah, was he on? I don't know if you can scroll over where the draft was and like who's picked. Is somebody already taking Max Clare? Because he was hanging around there around the 7th
right here.
position.
He's right here. Can you not see that?
Yeah, I see it. I do see it. I was looking over to the left. Oh, that's better. Thank you. I'm old. I need everything blown up. So what are you thinking? You want to go ahead and get another tight end in the room? You know, now that
Njoku's gone.
Joku's gone?
I think that wouldn't be a bad idea.
Yeah. I actually had went ahead and did that too. So yeah,
So you like Max Clare more than these guys? He almost seems like he could be our next pick.
I think it's 107. I think he's going to be gone at 107, I think, in the mocks that I did.
Yeah. Hey, let's get another Buckeye in there.
All right. Let's go ahead and take Max Clare at 70 then. Hey, teammates with Carnell Tate. Let's just start building the Buckeyes in Cleveland. Something the Browns are notoriously not known for doing.
Never do. Right. Done a lot more lately.
I kind of like that Katron Allen there out of Penn State, but he's probably going to be gone. Another running back.
I was going to say running back. I wouldn't be against taking at this point.
No, but if I'm going to go running back, it's got to be more than a scat back, right? I mean, it's got to be more. He's got to be more of that 1-2.
To be a guy that got to be somebody that can take 10 carries.
Right. So what do we have here at 107?
It's the running backs that are left. Black out of Indiana.
Yeah, he's small though.
Yeah, 5'10", 210. Not bad for running back. A lot better than fucking Sampson.
No, this is true. This is true.
I mean, love Sampson out of the backfield and stuff, but just not a guy I want to be handing the ball off too often.
So who's best available? Because here's where I thought, go to the quarterback room. Or you can go all. Yeah, Garrett Nussmeier. I had him in one of my mocks around this position. What do you think?
Back?
No, I'm off.
Why last year didn't make any sense to me. This year would make less sense to me to get a guy in late in the draft and
Go quarterback. Okay. And that's fair.
unless somebody you think, like if Ty Simpson's in the second round, I think you almost have to.
Well, you know who else is pretty deep in the draft too? Drew Aller. He's pretty deep on this one.
He's way down. That's something you could probably pick up in the 5th or 6th.
Heck, you might be able to go an undrafted guy there, right? Depending on where he falls. All right, so what are we thinking? You want to go?
I think here you're probably.
I was thinking edge too. I had one.
Yeah, I was going to say you might want to add the edge room.
Yeah.
And a little thin. He's 6'5".
Or a corner.
Anthony Lucas from USC.
You know, I wouldn't be, if the kid from Washington's still on the board, Proctor.
Tacario Davis. Doesn't look like it.
Ephesians Prycock, right there it is.
Prysock,
sorry.
Well, the other Washington corner's here. He's 6'4".
Who want to go corner? Corner at the 107?
I kind of like a 6'4" corner.
I do too. Get him. Because I don't think he was there. I think he was already off the board in the mocks that I did.
And then I think here.
There's a guy that I thought might have been a guy, Isaiah World. Another tackle. Dallas picked him out. If that's the guy that I didn't see. But I probably would have suggested taking him, but that's fine. We'll stick with it. And of course, there's nothing to say the Browns aren't going to make trades at this point.
Right.
Carson Beck's still hanging out there.
Now, if that's the case,
are you
6'5"?
You thinking about the 146?
I mean, you're not really. Let's see if there's any offensive linemen that you could start to possibly get some developmental offensive linemen. Do you kick out Luke Whippler or Zach Zenner or compete for those spots? You know what I mean?
Right. Would this be a place you take a running back?
Yeah. Is there anybody here you like?
Man. Not seeing a lot. But I wouldn't be surprised. But they may not. They may not draft any running back.
CJ Donaldson? Dude's a hoss.
Yeah. Bring another.
Probably get him later. You could probably get him in the 6th round.
All right. We going so what's all on the all tab? What's the best available?
Malachi Fields.
Man.
Let's throw another 6'4" wide receiver in there.
Get him. Let's do it. Get that dude. That's right. I forgot, but I did.
Oh, and we're boom boom here.
Yeah.
I could see going linebacker here or anywhere. Honestly.
Yeah, I could see a linebacker in this area too. I'm with you.
Arms or at a TCU, 130 tackles.
Didn't really hear much about this guy. I'm going to be brutally honest.
TCU.
Yeah. You make the call. You want to go linebacker here?
I think it's either or Davis tackle.
Okay. I mean, I'm kind of with you on, even though we got Quincy Williams, I don't hate it. And we know Andrew Berry's affinity for defensive players, right?
Yeah, if anything, you need solid. We need an upgrade on the special teams.
This is true. Great point.
Yeah, I think that might be something to kind of bolster that special teams
All right,
unit
I like it.
at the very least. Give you some better depth at linebacker.
So can we screenshot these drafts, put them up in a couple posts, and give the website out? Maybe we get some people to go ahead and send us some mocks in for them.
Yeah, as soon as it's done,
I'll
screenshot it.
And then we can just go ahead and put it out there on a couple posts, and please do that. Tell us who we're missing too in these later rounds. I know there's a lot of guys out there a lot sharper on the
bottom half of the draft.
Bottom half of the draft than we are.
All right. Edge out of Duke.
Yeah, there is, and then there isn't. Some of the scouting reports aren't even done for guys that this far. Kate Klubnik's down there.
I'm good.
Okay, that's fair.
Drew Aller.
I know.
6th round. I mean, there's zero pressure.
This is true. Go ahead.
Things don't work out.
Take him. You talk,
because that's a guy that if you take, you can kind of keep him on as your emergency quarterback,
right?
Or on your practice squad. I don't think you're gonna have to worry about anybody picking him up. Maybe.
And we're about to pick Mr. Irrelevant in the 7th round, right? Of course, with Cleveland, there could be quite a few of these guys that are Mr. Irrelevant. So, I mean, let's be brutally honest.
Hayden Curry?
Oh, yeah.
He was all the way down here. I didn't even realize that.
Now, here's a guy, though, and if he's still there, and he was on some of the mocks I did, Lorenzo Styles out of Ohio State, who ran that blazing 40, Sonny Styles' brother, was really deep.
He's a safety?
Yes.
Yeah. Why not?
Put him in there. Man, we just got like half
because
going Buckeyes.
Are you gonna pay Ronnie Hickman? So
right.
Which I would like to, but are you gonna be able to? I
perfect.
Kind of like everything about it.
Yeah.
Other than maybe taking the end there. So we got 1, 2, 3 Ohio State guys, not too homerish. Alabama, Washington, Penn State, a lot of Big Ten. Arnell Tate, Caden Proctor, Denzel Boston. I think that's that group of 3 right there. Turn around your offense.
I actually feel too the 146 pick with Malachi Fields. I think that might be steal there 146.
Yeah, that you could honestly. I mean, we might be trading Jerry Jeudy at that point.
Right.
I mean, how many footballs are there?
Right. So I mean, we have Carnell Tate and Denzel Boston, Malachi Fields, and Isaiah Bond.
You would go from like one of the smallest wide receiver rooms to one of the biggest.
Right.
6'2", 6'2", 215, 6'4", 220. Yeah. Sign me up.
Okay. Well, let's
Sign me
screenshot
up almost
that.
immediately.
We'll get that out there to our listeners. And you want to do one more? We'll do some trades.
How about we do that on the next one?
Okay, that sounds good. Let's do it. Let's go ahead and get a screenshot of that. We'll go ahead and give out the website, and we'll get that in some of the groups we're in. And you tell us, you grade us, and trust me, give us all the hate. Tell us where we went wrong, and I thrive on that. Go ahead and grade our draft here, and you tell us.
We live off your hatred.
We do. We're like the dark side.
All right, I got that. Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
I might as well do these every episode.
Right. I like it. Leading all the way up to the draft. So
if that lands any first 3 picks, but even
Yeah.
Malachi dropping that, and that
well,
really worked out because we didn't. I do like the Indiana wide receivers, but that worked out.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
And even if you get Drew Aller in the 6th round, I think if you're gonna get a quarterback, I think you might want to just draft one to have on the roster, develop, because God knows what's going to happen this year with Shador and Deshaun.
Right. I'm with you on
Deshaun
that.
come out and light it up. Shador could come out and light it up. They could both suck, get hurt.
And we could find out that Shador is not that guy. And then we get off of Deshaun Watson next year. And then all of a sudden, this is a good discussion too. Now that, we found out that Malik Willis went to the Dolphins, Tua went to the Falcons, Mendoza's going to go to the Raiders, Kyler Murray is in Minnesota. There are some outliers here where they don't have anybody really in place. One of them's the Arizona Cardinals. Okay. Another one, though, is the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Right. That's where I think Ty Simpson lands. If they have the ability to draft him in the late first round, I don't see how they don't take him.
Right. I mean, I agree with you. And I think we mocked him there before anyway.
Yeah, in our first round draft.
Yeah.
First round mock.
But I mean, there's really a couple big holes there, right? I mean, with Arizona, and they're sitting at what, 3?
Yeah, I mean, Jacoby played pretty well there last year.
Yeah,
they got a lot of problems. So,
right. And
I think they're fine with playing it out and getting another top 10 pick next year.
So I want to ask you this too: is it possible for now? There's new first-year head coaches at both places, with the Cardinals and with the Steelers. Is there a possibility here that we could have a preseason tank job going on to try to go into the quarterback thick class for next year?
You don't see that from Pittsburgh. I don't think that's in their blood. They're gonna go 8-9 or 9-8 and love every second of it.
Right. But you have to hate it though. I mean, the Cardinals, if nothing else, I could say that
this would be their
best
third first round quarterback. Well, that'd be their third first round quarterback draft in the last 8 years.
Yeah. I know.
Because they drafted the year before they drafted Kyler, they drafted Dickhead.
You got to narrow it down for me.
The one that said that everyone was going to regret not drafting him. I can't.
Oh yeah. Shit. That came out in Baker's draft.
Yeah.
Drew Rosen.
Yep. Drew Rosen. That's right.
Well,
and it's funny because going into that draft, I said I don't want Baker and I don't want Rosen. I would have taken any of the other ones.
Right.
And that's worked out.
Right. So really,
I kind of didn't want Sam Darnold either, but I was like, he probably wouldn't have worked out. I think, regardless.
Well, and who's?
But I think he would have been in a better situation with the offensive talent that we had than what he had in New York.
Oh yeah, but still really young coming out of the draft. I mean, he's still
A lot of turnovers.
a lot of the yeah. Maybe remember the whole seeing ghost.
Baker had a lot of turnovers.
Yeah, the whole seeing ghost thing when he played New England and Bill Belichick. I mean,
Right.
that's like one of those things you're never. It's kind of like the butt fumble when you're with the Jets.
Right.
It's something you're not probably not as dramatic, but something you're not going to live down. So,
But yeah, well, and who knows free agency next year, what kind of quarterback pool that's going to be.
this is true. This is
So
true.
I think as long as we're not at the point where we're 8-9 and you have no idea who the quarterback is,
Mhm.
you should be good, because you're either going to have a lot of confidence in Shador and 9-8, 8-9, 7-10 maybe if the kind of how these games go. I think if the defense can hold its own and they can build this offense correctly, and he plays, no reason they can't be super competitive.
Yeah. And
I mean, if we had any offensive production last year,
and it starts with, and I feel like maybe the Browns have made a turning point here. Like maybe Shador is not the guy, but we're going to start building this offensive line, getting that front, building from the ball out. And then at least if we have that stable, the following year we can go ahead and make a push for a quarterback.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's either going to be, if he's horrible, and I don't have a lot of faith that Deshaun would come in and play very well.
No.
Be drafting in the top 8.
Right.
So with that quarterback draft, you got to hope that you're going to be able to pick someone.
And you and I were both really kind of want to just see some progression here. You and I are both kind of in agreement that, we don't want to win. I'm not saying we don't want to win the division, but I'm keeping it. If you're at the 500, if you're at the Pittsburgh Steelers level that's been the last few years, I think that you've made some progression there. And you're happy with a 9-8, 8-9. You're still building on that. But the problem with that is, just like you said, it puts you further down in the draft.
Shorten to me doesn't have to come out and be a top 8 quarterback next year. If he can just show that he could play at a Geno Smith, I guess. I mean, Geno had a big year.
Got to be better than that.
No, I mean the year that he kind of popped in Seattle.
Okay, that's fair.
I mean, even that he really balled that one year, but just kind of Kirk Cousins level. Because to me, I think the issue that we've had is our wide receiver room, and even with Njoku, and we both like Njoku.
Yeah,
like there was just never production spots. If we can just see like production happening on the outside, and we got guys that can make plays and just make the quarterback's life easier. I mean, Shador's got all the arm talent in the world to make those throws. And if he can go out there and not throw 20 interceptions and have 8 fumbles, keep building on that. He's only going to get better.
And he's going to have to get better. I mean, you're going to have this offseason. You got the new coach in place, Monken, the offensive-minded coach, and a lot of the guys that was, he has familiarity with in the staff. And he just brings those guys over. You have to feel like he's going to be better.
And then if he doesn't, and we're 6-11, 5-12 again, you're going to have high draft to get one of these guys coming out in next year's quarterback draft.
Right. And who knows what the movement's going to be there, and what we would be willing to do to even move up to get the guy that we really, really want.
Right.
Yeah, we don't know that. All right.
Well, and
go ahead.
Every year that goes by, Myles Garrett becomes more tradable. Sad to say that, but if you really like a guy in the draft.
Listen, I brought it up this last year, before the trade deadline. I'm like, even though he was on this record-setting pace, right now I feel like his draft or his trade value is never going to get any higher.
It'll be, I think, even next year or two, just because of who he is.
Yeah.
It's almost like Von Miller. Like Von Miller played high level up till he was, late 30s. I think that's how a lot of the teams around the league will look at him, because he's never really he's been banged up here there, but he's never missed a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want that to happen, but I'm just saying if there's a quarterback like they want Arch Manning, if he comes out next year and absolutely lights it up in Texas, who they want, and they decide they're gonna trade Myles Garrett, they don't need a quarterback or whatever, get a good haul for him. How do you not?
You have to make the move.
Because in this draft, you're building around the quarterback.
Right.
In the offseason, you're building around the quarterback.
Right.
This will all lead to how Shador plays. If you figure out the quarterback, great. We just got through this Deshaun Watson contract law pretty much unscathed. I mean, the last 2 years kind of, I guess, a lot went into that, but he's going to be a cheap quarterback. You're going to be able to build around it even more coming next free agency. You get that going. If not, you're going to be picking at the high end of the draft on a quarterback heavy draft. So we know now. It seems like we keep saying it'll be next year. So
yeah,
who the hell knows? But
yeah, with Arch Manning,
that's got to be your outlook.
Yeah, with Arch Manning, Dante Moore, Julian Sand probably going to come out. I get tired of going down this path all the time, though. The revolving door. And you brought this up too. We got to get off of that cursed Indian land that is over there by the lake. And hopefully, I want it to happen before then, but 2029 can't get here soon enough.
I mean, what happened to the Indians after they built that new stadium?
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, I just have faith if this draft goes the way it should, that the offense should be better. I'm not saying they're going to be top 5 in the league, but if they can be top 20,
just go mid. Go mid.
This team can compete. It can compete in the division because we talked about how much Baltimore lost in this offseason. They're at the end of their window. So if there's any time to strike, it's now. It's next year. So hopefully they can make the right things, make the right picks, and have a good offseason. Seems like everyone that we've seen talk about the coach loves him. Haven't heard any bitching and moaning from any of the defensive players really since Schwartz left. So I don't think there's any smoke brewing in Berea as of now. Mm-hmm. So I think momentum after this class going into the draft and the flexibility that they have, I think they're in a good position to build right.
Yeah.
Got to hit in the draft.
We got to hit in the draft. We got to have an 8.
And if I swear to God, if we drafted defensives, I will drive Berea and wreck my car directly in that facility.
As I put a gas.
Or if we draft Ty Simpson at 6.
Oh, don't talk to me about it.
Putting a brick on the gas pedal.
Yeah. I'm actually going to soak a rag in gasoline and have it hanging out the side of my gas tank lid.
The Second American Revolution starts at Berea.
We're just going to run through the streets like Paul Revere.
The starting revolution
on the doors of Andrew Barry and Todd Monken. What are we doing? All right.
I would probably, my fandom would take a pretty large hit.
It'd be rough. I have too much invested. I'm not talking about just my life. I mean, I am talking about my life too, but I mean, even with this and everything else that got going on, I just have too much invested.
Right, for that to happen?
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be a big swift kick in the nuts.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
At 24, I'll let it slide, but
anyway, just a reminder, everybody, we have our NCAA basketball bracket. First game kicks off, I believe, this Thursday at 12:15. It's over on CBS Sportsline. I went ahead and Raw Doggers Sportscast 2026. I know there's already been multiple people the last 2 days that have got in there. It's $10 a bracket, 2 brackets maximum, and we're going to pay out 70% to first, 30% to second. And please get in there. I know I did have a little bit of this problem, Ryan. There's people that are saying that the link that I sent them was broken. I had to make an adjustment in there, and hopefully I've got that fixed. But there's
brackets in there.
Yeah. So there's another one in there. Hopefully our boy Wade got in there too. So I know that was one of the ones that had a broken bracket. I believe I kind of talked him into getting in. So we're hoping to get this. I mean, I'd love to see 20 brackets in there this year.
Right.
March Madness. I mean, I'm sure that we'll have to cover a little bit of that on the next pod. I'm sure there's going to be some weird stuff that happens. There always is. There's going to be that Cinderella team. But this is fun. I mean, this is going to be fun, guys. Please get in our bracket and over on CBS Sportsline, Raw Dogger Sportscast 2026. And if you don't have it, like I said, if you think you have a bad link, whatever, I reformulate it. I will send it back out to you, and we will go ahead and take payments over Venmo or what, Zelle? We could probably do Zelle as well.
Zelle, no, I got PayPal. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out for you guys. So anyway, good luck to everybody that's got in there already. And Ryan, anything else you want to go over tonight?
No, I think it's good.
Okay. All right. Follow us on all our social media. Tonight, we're on YouTube. We're on Facebook. We're on TikTok. Follow us on there. Like, subscribe, share. That's very, very important. I know you probably hear that any podcast you listen to, but the like, subscribe, the share, that really does a lot for us, along with these other podcasts. But, and tell us, we put some of these reels out. Tell us where we're absolutely shitty.
Right.
And we'll go ahead and get that screenshot up of the draft. So, okay. I think that's going to do it for this evening. Thank you, everybody. Raw Doggers out.